Salweta. So I want to do a few things here today. I want to walk through the format of the quiz, which you should have already received in a Canvas message, and actually I think put it in a Canvas announcement as well. But I just want to walk through the format again with you on for the quiz tomorrow. We'll take a look at lines 20 through 25 from page 270, which was the homework from last night, and then take a look at our prose compositions. So let's go ahead and kick it off with a bit of prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Gracious Father, we thank you for another day of life. We thank you for the gift of life this side of heaven and the promise of eternal life with you through Jesus. Pray that you guide us in what we do. Pray that this day would be, that we would use it in ways that are pleasing and meaningful to you. Help us to follow your will for us and not just our own agenda. And we lift all this to you in nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Okay, so looking at the format of the quiz, again, really just as I said, numbers 1 through 4 will be some general questions about the stories from Livy. I listed those out for you there, and if you've got the translation for the Livy and the history culture notes, so just go back through that stuff. There are no gotcha kind of questions. It's nothing, nothing really obscure. So the basic stuff, you should be fine. 5 and 6, so a couple questions about the irregular verbs volo, nolo, and malo. Remember, those are just irregular in the present indicative and present subjunctive. So just look over those forms. Honestly, given the questions, you could probably figure it out pretty quickly, even if you don't have everything just stone cold memorized. But certainly just look over those forms, be familiar. 7 through 9, some questions about the presentation by Centurion Crestinus. Again, I told you some specific things to focus on there. If you took notes during the presentation, you should be fine. Certainly feel free to work with each other, check with each other on notes, make sure, hey, do I have everything that you've got, and vice versa, help each other out there. And then 10, 11, and 12, general questions about what we've read so far in Caesar. Specifically, I said, the general geography of Gaul and details about the Helvetian emigration, right? The Helvetians are moving out. So again, general details, no really obscure gotcha kind of questions there. Okay, so let's take a look at lines 20 through 25. Again, certainly pause as you need to, make notes or corrections. And again, if you have questions, folks, ask each other. Say, hey, what did you get for this? Well, how did you get that and I didn't? How did you figure that out? And if that's not comfortable for you, shoot me a message, right? Shoot me a message through Canvas or email. Again, you can certainly ask me when I come back on Monday. So last time, remember in line 19, they left off, said they're going to take a couple of years to prepare everything. And on the third year, they were going to depart. Remember, they were going to, what was it? He said, they're going to buy up as many wagons as they could, sow as much grain as they could so they could have plenty of food on the journey. Then there's a whole business about making peace and friendship with the neighboring tribes. And we didn't even talk about that in the last video, how you don't want an enemy behind you to attack you as you're moving. Now, ad eas res conficiendas or getrix delegator, or getrix is chosen to complete these things. Right? It's his idea in the first place. Notice that conficiendas is a gerundive. We got the nd in there. Conficiendas is the adjective form that makes it the gerundive, modifying race. And the ad makes it an accusative of purpose. He is chosen for the purpose of completing these things. Is sibi legationem ad civitate suscepit. He undertook for himself. Sibi is the reflexive pronoun. He undertook for himself legationem ad civitates, an embassy to the tribes. In other words, he decided to be the one to go out and go to the other tribes and try to make peace with them. But it's key that he took this on himself, and it's going to play out in a future chapter here. But this whole idea of emigrating, while it is good for the tribe, this Orgetorix guy is also about himself as a leader. He wants to get some power himself, and so he's going out and making sure that people know he's the one who's making the peace and making the friendship with these neighboring tribes. In eo itinera persuadet castico sequano, On this journey, he persuades Casticus, the Sequanian. Right, so the Sequani are an area tribe right near where the Helvetii are. And for whatever reason, the word persuadio in Latin takes a dative direct object instead of accusative. So that's why castico sequano is dative. He persuades Casticus the Sequanian, ut regnum in civitate sua occuparet. Notice you've got a nice purpose clause there. We've got the ut, and in occuparet, we have an imperfect subjunctive. He persuades Casticus the Sequanian so that he might seize the regnum, the kingship, in civitate sua, quod pater ante habuerat, which his father had held before. He goes, well, what is this all about? So Orgetorix goes and he's making peace and, hey, I want to make sure you guys are good with us, right? You're not going to attack us in the rear. But he goes to this Casticus guy and he says, hey, your daddy was king. I think you should try to become king. You should become king of your own tribe. And when this guy does, of course, now he's going to owe Orgetorix, right? Because it was Orgetorix's idea. Orgetorix persuaded him and pushed him to do it. So Orgetorix is really trying to get a fellow king kind of in his pocket or under his control. Itemque dum norigi haeduo fratri duiciaci, qui eo tempore principatum in civitate obtenebat, ut idem conaretur persuadet. Likewise, itemque means likewise, and you're going to want to drop down to get persuaded. It's the same verb. Again, he persuades Dumnorix. And this is another guy, Dumnorix, the Hydruan. And the Hydrui, that's another tribe there near the Helvetii. So now we've got the Helvetii, we've got the Sequani, we've got the Hydrui. So we're getting several different people groups named here. And so likewise, he persuades Dumnorix the Hydruan, the brother of Duiciacus, who eo tempore at that time held the power in his tribe. So what he's doing, he goes to the one guy who's the son of the king, he goes to the other guy who's the brother of the local ruler, and he persuades these guys, hey guys, you guys need to take over, right? You need to have a little rebellion, and you guys need to take over. Which is going to be music to their ears. They, of course, are going to want to hear this. Hey, yeah, that's a good idea. I should probably do that. And then, like I say, they're going to owe Orgetorix. And it says he persuades him ut idem conaretur, so that he might try the same thing. So again, we've got ut conaretur, another imperfect subjunctive there. Notice that conor is a deponent verb. Looks passive, but translates actively. And we've got another purpose clause there. Interestingly enough, and he gives to him, this Dumnorix guy, he gives to him filiam suum in matrimonium, his daughter in marriage. So Orgetorix promises his own daughter in marriage to Dumnorix the Hydruan as a way to kind of sweeten the deal and really solidify this political alliance. So let's just back that up real quick. So let's get that whole long sentence there. On this journey, he persuades Casticus the Sequanian so that he might seize the kingship in his tribe, which his father had held before. And likewise, he persuades Dumnorix the Hydruan, the brother of Duiciacus, who at that time held the power in the tribe, so that he might try the same thing. And he gives him his daughter in marriage. And then the last sentence, Dixit se ipsum suae civitatis imperium obtenturum esse. He said that he himself would obtenturum esse, would obtain the power of his own tribe. So he goes out and he's telling all these other guys, I'm going to be doing the same thing over in my tribe, right? So you guys should start a revolution in your tribe as well. So we're going to see this it's not going to play out quite so well among Orgetorix's people, the Helvetians. So again, pause, go back over this as you need to. But right now, let's take a look at our prose composition. So we've got our sentence here. The Helvetians sent the most noble ambassadors to Caesar. And as always, first thing you want to do is simply go through and identify, what's what. If you're using our little color coding system, the green and red stuff. So for the green stuff, Helvetians, we've got that as a noun. Most noble is an adjective. Ambassadors, also a noun. And Caesar is a noun. Then we've got sent, which is our one and only verb. And then we've got our identifications. Helvetians are the ones who did the sending, so they are nominative, plural, masculine. They're the subject. Now, when you've got an adjective, you want to deal with the noun first. So we're going to deal with ambassadors. Ambassadors is accusative, plural, masculine. Why? The Helvetians sent what? They sent ambassadors. Ambassadors would be the direct object, therefore accusative. And once you know that that's accusative, plural, masculine, then you can know that most noble is also accusative, plural, and masculine. And then finally, Caesar is accusative, singular, masculine. Why this time? Well, it's not direct object, but place to which. Sent them where? Sent them to Caesar. And then finally, we have the verb Helvetians sent. It's like saying they sent. So third person plural. Sent, good past tense verb, so perfect tense. No reason to be subjunctive, so we'll say indicative. And then the Helvetians actively did the sending, so it's active. So you want to maybe pause if you need to, if there's any questions about the red and green stuff. And then finally, we get to the blue. Helvetii ad Caesarem legatos nobilissimos miserunt. So take a look at that, see if you understand how I came up with the Latin there. Again, the word order can certainly be different. And if you have questions, ask each other, and certainly don't hesitate to ask me. Okay, so that wraps it up for today. We have the quiz tomorrow, and certainly looking forward to seeing everybody on Monday. Well, later.